Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. I do hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. This is episode 92. Today, I had the immense pleasure of having Fitz Koehler on the podcast. She is a fitness expert, race announcer, speaker, author, TV personality. Yes, we talked about a number of things from the condition of the fitness industry. We've also talked about her new book, which will be coming out on the 20th of October, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, as well as, what she was doing to help her with her recovery. Very nice lady. I had a great time, and yes, I learned a lot. So please sit back, enjoy the podcast, and have a great day. Yeah. Peace. Record. Haha. Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. This is episode 92. And today I have Fitz Koehler on the podcast today. Doing the royal wave. I thank you. Excellent. How are you today, Fitz?
You know what? Every day is a great day to be alive. So I'm very happy today. Thank you. And I love you. You're like me. You have too much energy.
You know what? As I say to other people, I'll send you your check, but do not catch them right away because yes, they are made out of a rubber substance.
I don't blow sunshine. It's one of my special gifts that I never give compliments that aren't earned or deserved. So.
Excellent. Like, you know what? Like, you are, I have to say this, look, you have, how can I say, you've got quite a sort of diverse little career going on. And when I say little career, my, it's not little. Like, you're a fitness expert, race announcer, speaker, author, TV personality, and the Morning Mile Foundation, like founder.
Yeah.
You're just lazy.
I'm a total slacker, first of all. I am. So thank you for calling me out on that. But here's the thing. I'm almost a one-trick pony. I do a lot of things that help me do just one thing, which is help folks live better and longer. So I talk a lot and I write a lot. And well, I talk a lot. Actually, the majority of my income is made on a microphone. I say lots of words and I always say them with a smile, but sometimes I have to say them with a poke in the chest. I get to be an educator and a bully and a cheerleader because it's my job to educate people on, how to become fit. I need to compel them and sometimes shake, rattle, and roll them to get them to take their health seriously. And then I get to rah-rah, sis, boom, bye, support them when they've done the right thing. So I do a bunch of things. And because I've been doing this for a long time and I've never sold out, I've never sold a diet pill, a powder, a shake, a supplement, any of that snake oil. I've always told the truth, and people trust me, and they allow me to lean in and get serious with them because they know I really care.
I like the way you said snake oil. Come on now, a supplement works occasionally.
Well, yeah, I mean, no. The answer is it doesn't work for weight loss. There is no magic pill, and you know Oprah Winfrey, right?
I'm aware of her. Yeah.
Doesn't know Oprah Winfrey. So she would still be in those size 10 Calvin Klein jeans if there was a magic pill. She's like the wealthiest overweight person on planet Earth. And she wants nothing more than to have the super fit body. She just hasn't put in the work yet. And she's working on it. I love Oprah. I got nothing against Oprah, but she's the exhibit A, as if there was a magic pill or a shake, she would have it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, this is the thing. When you mention Oprah Winfrey, like, I remember when it was the Oprah Winfrey show, like, they managed to do circulation over here. And the sort of, how can I put it? The sort of late 80s through the 90s sort of realm of knowing what health was and basically weight loss and this, it was completely different. If I remember rightly, there was this sort, like, she organized a competition between two cities to lose the most weight.
It sounds familiar, yeah.
I can't remember which cities they were, but it was like, but they were attacking sort of weight loss in the same way of, the nearest equivalent, I would say, in some regards, not like the biggest loser, if you get what I mean, but not on that sort of, we must take you to gym like for 10 hours a day, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, and it's sad. I mean, she's reflective of the general public, right? She is willing to try anything. And so the first time, I don't know if you remember, she came on her show pulling the wagon full of 80 pounds of fat that she had lost, but she lost it doing nothing but drinking these shakes. And in whose world is that a healthy thing to do? I mean, you gave up chewable food, and now you're just drinking shakes, which means you're a slave to that product. They have totally coerced you. They've lied to you. They've suckered you in that only their shakes are the secret to your success. Now, anyone who tells you eating an apple or berries or broccoli and chewing that up is a bad idea, something's wrong with that person. So, but yeah, Oprah is a good reflection of society because, she's just a regular girl, yet she's a regular girl multi-billionaire that we all love. And, weight loss is hard and fitness is hard. It also is really simple, stupid. And I love being able to tell people the truth in a way that they go, oh, really? That's it? And it's called The Exact Formula for Weight Loss. It's just science and math. But I love when people say, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. And it's working and I'm not hungry. And then this I can do for the rest of my life. So, and I'll start by saying I'm 45 pounds less than I was at the beginning of college. So I've been there. I've been in a body I didn't love. And then I now return to a body that I've loved since college. I love my body. I'm very proud of it. And I don't find it difficult. Being overweight was really hard. Being the appropriate weight is actually really easy. It feels good.
Yeah, like you say that, and I like, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to weight loss, it's not that complicated. Is you work, like if you're working at this rate, eat less and just keep it sort of balanced and just go forward.
Put your foot in your mouth, move your body, get some sleep.
Yes, look, but you say that, I say that, but yet it seems like it's one of the most complicated things on the planet.
No, and that's why I feel really valid in what I do, is because I teach so many people how to do it and how to do it with ease, and they do it. And, I just love it. I love seeing people accomplish. There's so many careers where people end up with medals on their walls and plaques and so forth. My medals are people who are happy in their new jeans, or people who come home from the doctor's office and say, oh my gosh, my physician just ranted and raved about my blood work. That's a true triumph when you can help someone tack 10 years of quality life onto their existence. Man, those are big medallions for me. So I love what I do. I love it. I love people.
Now, this is the thing, like, how many people do you think you may have helped over the course of your career? How long has your career?
Millions. And I can confidently say millions because of my my turn towards mass media. So it was many years ago, decades ago, where I started working on television. In fact, it was in college. And I remember I was at a barbecue restaurant, and I might have been about 20 years old, but I hosted a regular TV show. It was on a few times a week. And so this waitress came up to me, and she was a real country style waitress, and she was well over 300 pounds, not someone you would look at and think, gee whiz, she's doing a lot of exercise, right? And she came over and she said, are you Fitz? And I said, I am. And she goes, I just have to tell you that I love you so much, and I watch your show all the time. And when it's not, I've recorded it when it's on so I could work out with you on the days it's not. And I've lost 17 pounds. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to help her. Like, I would have never met this woman in social circles. I was in college. She was a country mom. And then I thought, television and articles, those are places where I can help the masses. And so I've done a lot of national television, and I've done a lot of corporate speaking for Disney and Oakley and Tropicana. And I have helped millions, and I'm super proud of that. And it's not enough. I want to help everyone. I want to find people in the nooks and crannies of Afghanistan and help them too. I'm not ever satisfied.
Not ever satisfied. Like, this is the thing. Like, it sounds like you've got a plan. Well, you definitely got a mission. But like, what are some of the key components of the plan with this mission?
The game plan is to be as noisy as possible. To as many people as possible. So yeah, every opportunity I get to be on national television, I take it. You know, if I wake up and do the work, as sometimes it's super early, it's obnoxiously early, but by 8 o'clock in the morning, if I've already taught 5 million people, I feel like that's a great day. And then I have a podcast and I have my website, Fitzness.com, and I just authored a new book. And so I just want to keep creating opportunities to reach people. I'm a professional race announcer, and I can tell you that I host some of the biggest, most prestigious races in the United States, and I love that. But I used to work a lot in Europe, and I'm desperate to get back now. Now I'm, reinvigorated, and I want to go. I used to live in England, so I want to go back across the pond. I want to go across all the ponds and just help people live better and longer.
Yeah, what part of England were you living in?
So Eastcote. That was the name of the city. Does it sound familiar?
Like Ascot?
Eastcote, and it was near Uxbridge. There's a U.S. military base, a naval base over there. Oh. And it was at the end of the Piccadilly line.
Oh God! I live in London. End of the Ruislip, West Ruislip, Uxbridge.
Uxbridge, yeah, it was right next to Uxbridge.
Okay, it's mostly a small little town. Okay, right, it's all right. So you're just on the outskirts of London. Very interesting.
Girl, yeah, it was beautiful. I loved it over there. I mean, I love it home in Florida most, but yeah, I loved living in England, and I've traveled to Russia and Ireland and all of Scandinavia, and I just, good people are everywhere, right?
Yeah, like this, very true. They are. It's just a case of seeking them out. That's where, and finding the really good people, that's where you find the special treasure. Seeking those people out, it ain't easy, but it's well worth it.
Well, what's really cool is when I announce the races, and so to describe that, I'm at the start and finish line of major running events. So as people gather, I'm there to welcome them. I have fun music, and then I greet them, and I tell them about the course they're about to conquer. I recognize sponsors, and then I just make sure everybody's having a lot of fun. So we joke, we get excited, I whip them into a frenzy, I yell go, everybody takes off, and then I'm there at the finish line to greet people. But with my fitness career, I have to do a lot of arm twisting. There's a lot of people like, well, I want to lose weight, but I'm not willing to do any work for it type things. So I have to twist their arm and convince them exercise is a good idea and you should eat right. And then on race day, now mind you, not everybody who runs a race is in good shape. We have people that are 400 pounds. We have people running the gamut. But everyone on race day has already decided that exercise is a good idea. They've paid for it, trained for it, they show up for it. Many times they're not only working to support themselves, but they're supporting great causes and communities. So if I'm at a race, I already know that I'm with the creme de la creme of society. So if you drop me in England at a race, I know I've got some of the best people there. If you put me in Tokyo at a race, same thing. So I want to come and grab all the European runners and love them up too. And I hug them all. I'm no good at Corona because I'm a hugger. I love people so much.
Oh, loving that. Look, this is the thing. When you say people show up to races and they're not fit, like, okay, like this year I had this mad schedule planned out where I was going to be like doing like something like 12 marathons and 36, right?
Running?
I was having it all set out, all of this, all planned out. I was like, okay, right. And things I was doing to sort of warm up for this, like I was doing a number of 10Ks before the world decided to melt. And dairy me. Like I was running around Regent's Park for this particular 10K and had the guy running, going, if you're running at this pace, you'll do this within an hour. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, keeping up with this guy. I was like, yeah. Then he started to pull away because I was like, I'm still doing the same pace. I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? And now, this gentleman who I've got to say, looking at him, he was a very heavy set fella. Looked like he, put it this way, I like to eat food. This guy looked like he liked to eat food and a little bit more. I was like he ran up next to me. I was like, okay, yeah, no worries. Then he started to pull away from me. And the guy with the sign started to pull away and he left. I was like going, oh no. Left me for dust. I think they finished the race about a good 10 minutes before me. And I was like, right now, like it was all like I was meant to do the Paris Marathon this year, but once again, world melted and like no. So now I'm like in training for Paris 2021, which I've started. Like my third training session was today. So I was like running 9 miles for today. Yeah. So I'm on mission. Like, yes.
I'm glad you're on a mission. I'm glad you're sticking with your training because even though many of our races are canceled, running is not canceled and they will come back. And yeah, I'm hoping maybe I'll get hooked up so I can welcome you through a finish line. I would love that.
Hey, I would love that too. Like one of the races which intrigues me is the Wonder Woman Batman race.
That is my race series. Oh,
yeah.
So much fun.
So is everyone dressed up as Wonder Woman and Batman or like wearing some type of memorabilia?
So this race has been going race series has been going since 2018. Right now, we're really just in the United States and we've partnered with Warner Brothers and DC Comics. So we're a traveling show. We go from city to city and we put on these extraordinary events. It's, our finish line or start line festival is full of cool things to do. For Batman, we've had Lego Batman, we've had the Batmobile, we've had Warner Brothers sends out their official Wonder Woman or Batman to meet and greet people, take photos, a bunch of just cool activities. I host costume contests and trivia contests and all sorts of other fun things. But yeah, when it comes to our Wonder Woman event, it's visually spectacular because almost everybody, including the men, dress up in some sort of Wonder Woman attire. It's 1970s Linda Carter style Wonder Woman. So it's royal blue, bright red, and we've got, some people are wearing tights or tutus, and then some people wear the little undies, the little blue stars and stripes undies, and I wear those under my tutu, but the people are amazing, and to just see everybody in this uniform is spectacular. Now on Batman, we get a ton of Batman, and we've only held one race so far. It was in Los Angeles on Batman Day last year, and most people came in black, which was cool because it was at night. We had all sorts of purple fog machines and so forth. But then with Batman, for some reason, the whole DC comic universe came out. We had so many fully made up Jokers. We had all the bad girls, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, and there was tons of Riddlers. It was so cool. So I highly recommend this race series, and I am so blessed to be able to play ringleader for the most amazing, fun sport in the world because, it's just joy. People show up and they're so joyful and enthusiastic, and every step is joyful, and they come through the finish line, and hopefully I want them all to feel like they've won the race. It's an experience more than a race. And I love it. So maybe we'll come to you, or you can come to us, right? America's not so bad. Come on over.
At this moment in time, I don't think they're letting anyone. Because I go, yes. Hi, I'd like to come to America. No. It's like, yeah. It's a whole world of quarantine at this present time. The UK at this present time, the northwest and the northeast of the country are sort of going into it's partial lockdown, kind of. So it's just, right now, the UK is going through a funny term with regards to anything which is lockdown related. I think it's slightly better over in the States.
We have some governors who are complete nutcases and, treat their citizens like prisoners, which is very uncomfortable for the land of free. However, thankfully, my governor here in Florida is pro-Floridian, and our businesses have been destroyed, lives have been destroyed. My, people can't be with their loved ones as they're dying. It's been tragic. So he's finally opening up the state. There are still some restrictions, but you can come and go mostly freely around here, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, no, like this is the thing. I think globally there needs to be a little bit more of a fighting spirit going forward, because it needs to. I think if you don't have that fighting spirit, things can easily fall down.
Yeah. And this is kind of how your country, my country, stayed free, is because we had these tremendous men and women who are willing to fight for freedom. And that has gone a long way. You know, we're known as the land of the free, but y'all are pretty free too. So
there's a lot of us out here which are like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, our communal soldiers did not die on the shores of Normandy for people to be forced to be locked down inside their home from a virus that's 99.995% survivable. So I'm not dismissing that. It has certainly taken some lives, but you don't seem to be a person at risk, nor do I, nor are my children. Now that the data is there, freedom should ring.
Yeah. One of the things with regards to yourself and that sort of fighting spirit, like, okay, look, 2019, like 19, it was like quite a sort of pivotal year for you. Like, Can you go into detail about that?
Of course. So I'll backtrack a little bit. In December of 2018, I had a clean mammogram, and I'm someone, as a person, as a individual and as a professional, annual exams, self-exams have always meant the world to me. I go to get those skin checks, my eyes exams, pap smear, mammo, all the things. And I've always encouraged that professionally because I think they matter. And I've always thought, you know, if I ever get one cancer cell, I'm going to crush it right away. So late December 18, get the mammogram. I leave with a little slip of approval. I do an Instagram post. Hey, got my clean mammogram. Go get yours. And then less than 7 weeks later, I'm in a hotel bathroom at Disney World, of all places. And I go like this, and I felt it. There was a lump there, and it felt like a bean. You know, if you bought a bag of hard beans, it felt, you know, I thought, oh man, this is it. So this is the pivotal moment, is I don't Google it. I don't call my friends. I don't call my mom and cry. I found a bean. What should I do? I picked up my damn phone. Within 30 seconds, it was on the bathroom counter. I just called my gynecologist and said, hey, I found a lump. I need to come in. They said, yeah, you do. And so that was Thursday. I was out of town, or they would have seen me the same day. But I went in on Monday. They said, yeah, we feel it. And we decided to get some scans. 3 days later, I went in for the mammogram and ultrasound. And it's funny, the radiation tech was going over my breast, and I could see the lump. But sometimes lumps are just cysts and stuff. I knew in my heart it was cancer, but she was poker face because she's not allowed to say anything because she's just the tech. Anyways, radiologist comes in, and she's a little jumpy. I can sense the difference in her personality over the past year. So she's in there, and she says, yeah, this lump looks suspicious, but you also have 3 lymph nodes that are hard and swollen. And that's when I just went, blah, I'm definitely gonna die. Oh my gosh. So I had a biopsy, was diagnosed. And I think between finding the lump and chemo, there was maximum, I think it was 2.5 weeks. And so I started chemo, and they put me on a really mean regimen of chemo since it was moving fast, and because I was young and healthy and could handle it. And so I did 6 rounds every 3 weeks of the meanest chemo they have, is what they told me. And then I had 15 more rounds of a lesser yet still kind of mean chemo. So the first was mean chemo. The second dose we called Godzilla.
Yeah.
33 rounds of radiation, a couple surgeries, and I am just fine. You know, breast cancer affects 1 in 8 Western women, which is alarming. You know, if you went to just a baby shower, you know, a typical baby shower where women were celebrating, you know, the birth of a child, you know, at least 2-3 of them were going to get it, which is frightening. However, the cure rate is 93-94%. So what we have to do is we have to find it early. And I've been on a mission to get people to squeeze their stuff. And so that takes your hands, your stuff, you stick your hands in your stuff and you have a squeeze. Gentlemen, it's your hands, your stuff, put your hands in your pants. Testicular cancer is not a lot of fun. And, you know, be your own advocate. You know, you and I, we exercise, right? We take care of our body, but if I can get cancer, anyone can get cancer. So we have to be proactive. And even with super dark skin, you got to wear sunscreen. You have to have your skin checked. You know, if we look for trouble, we might find it, but we might find it in the earliest stages. And then we can get rid of it and go on and be noisy for a long time.
Yes. So with that, with going through the treatment and basically getting that taken care of, like going for, like, as you put it in your book, your noisy comeback, like cancer comeback.
Noisy cancer comeback.
Yeah. Like, to do that and then to have time to work out and then have time to basically do the book. Did you work out at the time, or did you just put that all on rest, or how?
So I put that in my book, and the book is a memoir. It covers from, you know, lump to final round of chemo type thing. But yeah, I had started off, right as I found my lump, I started exercising more to manage the stress.
Okay.
And then I thought, oh, you know, chemo, I'll take a few days off after chemo and then I'll jump right back into it. Well, I was in for a rude awakening because I had my first chemo and then my stomach exploded and I became a sick person. So I would have chemo every 3 weeks. So for a while I could rest for 2 weeks and then start creeping back, walking, maybe light strength training. I think after the third round of chemo, I was completely wiped out of exercise, none at all. I just could kind of lie there. And after the main chemo, I was able to slowly jump back in. And I talk about that. I call them Fitzness logs in the book. I figured people would be interested in my fitness experience because of who I am and what I do. But yeah, it was crazy. The one thing I did do, as you read, was work. And so I truly believe if I were a secretary or had a job connecting widgets, I would have called in sick 100% of the days because I wouldn't have had the motivation to do that. But my work is so enjoyable and I love my people so much. So no matter how sick I was, I'd get up at 4 a.m. and I'd go get on a plane and I'd travel across the United States to an event. And we had to work hard to keep me functional. So my race directors, many of them arranged for me to have IV fluids in their town. So I would get off a plane and I'd go straight to a facility for fluids, or we would have a nurse bring IV fluids to my hotel room, which was a little bit surreal. I had my medical director. So at every race, you probably know, at the finish line, we have ambulances, we have medical tents, because sometimes people just have a blister and then sometimes people have a heart attack. That's rare, thank goodness. But we just have we have a medical team just in case. So wherever I went, the medical team was always on alert for the runners and the race announcer. And, you know, I had a few dramatic moments, which I do share in the book, but I was able to just go. And no matter how horrible I felt, even if I had spent the night on the hotel bathroom floor, the second I get on my stage, I was fueled with adrenaline from my runners, and that was able to help me go and perform at my peak. And usually nobody knew anything was going on other than me and my weird bald head. Although your bald head is awesome. Mine was a little odd.
Like, how dare you? Like, look, I'm like my bald head. Don't know what you're talking about.
So hot on men. I don't know why it's not always. Well, it wasn't the same on me, but anyways, it's a different story.
Oh no! Like, this is the thing. I think it's one of these things when anytime someone's going through something like you've gone through, like basically having that sort of purpose is one of the biggest things I think people like sort of neglect before. But when that sort of the battle you have to go through, fighting a disease like that, purpose must be like all encompassing to make sure.
You just nailed it. And so my book is being released October 20th. So the general public hasn't been able to read it yet, but I have had a couple dozen beta readers. People read it in advance, maybe some influential people in my field who I said, hey, if you like it, would you write me an endorsement? But the people who've read it, who have gone through cancer, and in fact, a couple of present cancer patients, all of them said, I wish I would have had this book when I was first diagnosed, because I talk a lot about my passion and how that made my journey a lot, again, it was a bear, and I had a gauntlet to get through as my travels, but I had joy. And so, race announcing, not everybody can go do that. But if you love painting, if you love being with your kids at the playground, if you love writing, whatever it is, having some deliberate joy in your life, going to do things you love, even when you feel like crap. There was a time my daughter, she had a cheerleading competition. I was so violently ill. I don't know if I've ever felt worse, but she wanted me to be there to watch her perform. And I wanted to be there. And my husband kept saying, you don't have to go, you should stay. And I just thought, wild horses couldn't keep me from this kid. No matter how bad I felt when I sat in that chair and watched her do her thing, I just felt happy. And so I think that's also a lesson. If you have someone in your life who has some sort of illness, disease, debilitating injury, don't encourage them to keep missing out on life. And especially if you have someone that's terminal, take them along, give them as many positive experiences as you can, because if not, just sitting in your room feeling bad is really depressing. It's a horrible thing. And so life is hard, but you can do hard things.
Yeah, like this is very true. Like, so now that you've sort of like on the road to recovery. Like getting back onto that fitness horse can be a difficult challenge, because like, hey, when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the grind, you're just going, but like sort of getting that sort of get up and go motivation, that can be tricky. How have you sort of combated that?
That's a great question. And obviously I had the upper hand being a fitness expert, right? So, and I'm committed. My book right now is My Noisy Cancer Comeback. The next book I've already committed to is called Your Healthy Cancer Comeback. Wow. So I can be an actually expert guiding people through that. But I approached the situation with baby steps. I was humble. I knew I wasn't going to be the girl I was before chemo. So I just did what I can. I started with stretching in the shower, stretching in a pool. And the pool was nice because I didn't have to, I was really heat sensitive from the drugs. But then I could move around in the pool without feeling punished by the heat. And I live on a hill, and I used to not be able to walk up the hill. And then my poor husband used to have to push me up the hill. Yeah. And eventually I could walk up my hill alone. So it was just expecting minor improvements, which I think goes a long way. And once I got back into the actual gym after a few months break, it was like throwing a fish back into water. I felt so happy. But again, I knew that if I pushed it, if I tried to be who I was, I was asking for trouble. So I did the same old exercises, but at a very reduced weight, almost a laughable weight. But I thought, you know what? Nobody in this gym knows what I used to lift. Nobody in here is looking at my weight rack. Nobody cares. Only I care. So I think that's the secret is do gentle exercises, start small, have no ego about it. Just be grateful you're there and making some level of progress. And so I did start with baby steps, and, I'd make some progress, and I had surgery. So I had to back off again. And, I did well enough that I finished chemo May 11th. Yeah. I got my port out June 3rd. The port is a little device they stick in your chest to infuse chemo. So they had to do another surgery to get it out. But I got that out June 3rd. On June 12th, I did a Spartan obstacle course 5K race. And I was just like, I'm alive and I want to start having fun again. So
all I've got to say is I had you gone from, I had to have help getting up the hill with where my husband helped me, and I did it a little bit. And by the way, had that taken out. Yeah, Spartan race. Come on. It's like,
and I was like, I gotta have some fun for me. So I walked almost all of it, but I laughed through almost the whole thing too. It just was a really fun thing. I lost 12 pounds. So, and I'm a small person to begin with, so I was wimpy. I couldn't lift. They had this 50-pound cement ball for me to carry, and I just was like, no, I can't do it. And it was super funny. So I did my best, and I finished what I could, and I was super proud of myself. And then 2 weeks after that, I went and did a triathlon. Now, a short triathlon, but still, you know, a 200-yard swim, an 11-mile bike ride, a 2-mile walk run, and I hyperventilated through almost all of it. I was the dead last finisher. On the bike, there was a police officer behind me with the lights flashing just to keep me safe back there, but I did it. And so, as you know, it feels good to be accomplished. And sometimes when you're super sick and you're lying in bed, you're thinking, how come people that are capable of doing exercise, who don't have these limitations, how come they're neglecting their body and their opportunity for athletic adventure, right? You just can't. I've never been able to wrap my head around people just letting their health and their opportunity for fun go. But the second I had the opportunity, I was like right back in there. So yeah, I picked up surfing, I go hiking, I go stand-up paddleboarding. I want it all, and life is good.
Oh my Lord, I've got to say this, like, yeah, I need to introduce you to, like, I would say a friend of mine, like, yeah, I call her the mighty, like mighty Coach Pete, like, yeah, no, like, basically, she's had a similar journey to you, and, like, yeah, all I've got to simply say is, yeah, she, like, there's a similar sort of ethos to the realms of, hey, I'm going to just go and do it, but you just had treatment. Yeah.
Yep.
Go.
What could be worse? Like, what could happen at a Spartan race that was worse than what I already went through?
No, like I can't possibly say, like, look, like, you keep kicking ass, you keep like pushing forward. That's all I got to say. Like, look, you are a shining example of, yeah, getting out, fighting, and, like, yeah, keep pushing forwards. Like, one of the things, like, being in the realm of fitness, which I always like I've seen Instagram fitness, I've seen YouTube fitness, and I've seen the dark places it can all lead to. Like, what you're doing sounds very healthy, like very positive, and, like, you know what I mean? How can I put it? The truth. Like, how does it sometimes make you feel when you see the industry you love with regards to some of the shenanigans, I should say, what go on?
Oh, this is a great question, and a little bit of a soapbox for me. So,
okay, stand up high.
Yeah, I'm often quite disgusted by my industry. My industry is full of snake oil salesmen, hacks, and thieves, and it's disgusting. I mean, people that are far more interested in making a dollar than actually helping a human. Anytime someone's selling a pill, a powder, a shake, a wrap, and promising big results, shame on them. They need to take a long walk off a short pier. I am grossed out by these people because, you know, for starters, they don't have the education. I started teaching fitness in my teenage years, and I only went through some sort of certification process. So it was fair that I only knew a certain amount. I knew how to lead a fitness class.
Yeah.
But when I decided I wanted to make a career out of fitness, I went and got a master's degree in exercise sports sciences, because I decided, boy, I'm in charge of people's spinal columns. I'm in charge of their heart and their lungs, and I better know my stuff. It's similar to doctors with the Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And so, you know, in order to teach fitness, some people get a license out of a Cracker Jack box. It's meaningless. They know nothing. They have some sort of great body, and then people look at them and say, well, they must be an authority on the subject because they've got a great body. Instead, it's just some bozo selling protein powder out of the back of their truck. P.S. You need no sort of powder to lose weight or to get strong. You need to eat healthy food. There's, you know, what the earth is giving you all the ingredients you need. You don't need to go to a vitamin nutrition store. You need to eat lots of produce, some beans, some nuts. If you're a carnivore, you're certainly getting enough protein if you're a carnivore. You don't need to buy fake nonsense, but it infuriates me when these so-called fitness professionals do two things. When they step outside their lane, you know, if you're an exercise person, you've been trained to do personal training, you should not be giving nutrition advice. Period. End of story. You should not. And if you're a nutrition person who hasn't been trained on how to manage a spinal column, you should not be teaching people exercise. You know, I don't teach injured people how to recover from injury. They need to go to a physical therapist. You know, I do not diagnose diabetics. There are boundaries, and I stay within my lane. But my model of professionally is I never take money from the consumer for guidance anymore. So if you go to Fitzness.com, there's the exact formula for weight loss. It's the truth about eating the right amount of the right foods for the size you want to be. I don't want to restrict that information. So I say, here, have it for free. If you want to exercise, I've created a bunch of free like YouTube videos and so forth. Corporations pay me. They pay me to come do things on a large scale, teach a mass amount of people, maybe represent their brand. But I don't think it's okay to lie to people who simply just want to feel better in their skin or live a little longer. Those are really fair things. If you're providing a service as a exercise coach, physical trainer, great. You can charge for your time, but don't you dare sell lies.
Yeah, like this is a thing. What was the name of this documentary? Yes. There's a documentary, it's been out for a few years, called Bigger, Faster, Stronger. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
I know his last name, it's Bell, and like basically he talks about how like the whole sort of steroids and everything like that in sort of like weight training and everything like this. And one of the things he did talk about was the supplement industry, and like, yes, how they kind of, especially, I think Utah was the state which was the sort of biggest culprit. I might be wrong about that, because you can like you can call it a proprietary blend, and then you can just basically have anything you want.
Well, interesting. If I had an apple, we all know the benefits of an apple, but if I was going to sell you this apple and call it a weight loss apple, would you, would that make any sense? There is no food that's designed for weight loss. There's food that gives you nutritional benefits. Some are low calories than others. But if I called it a weight loss apple, would you think I was a great salesperson helping you? No, you would just say, Fitz, it's an apple. So if I give you a bottle and call it weight loss powder, does that make any sense? Here's a weight loss banana. Here's a weight loss steak. It's lies. Anytime you see the word diet or weight loss on a product, run the other direction. And the person that's trying to sell you're more than welcome to give them a little pop in the mouth, courtesy of Fitz Koehler.
No.
Courtesy of me, not you. I'm the one. It'll be my pop in the mouth. Thank you.
Careful now. I think if you did that to anyone, you'll just take him out. It's like
you're pissed.
It's what's done. Like, they're not moving. Put them in the recovery position. Call an ambulance.
That's right.
So with this, like, okay, look, fighting off the big C, writing a book, another book on the way, and like, yeah, getting back on the race announcing circuit. Now, what is the next big thing? What is in store for you in the next, say, 12 to 18 months?
So the thing that I'm adding, I'm hoping my race announcing schedule launches back into at least what it was, plus more. It will grow. I'm invited regularly to new races, so I don't have any doubt that I'll have more of those events on my calendar. But it's interesting. Well, I don't like cancer, and I don't like sickness and sadness and those things. And while I was going through it, I never told anybody it was hard. I was like, I'm fine. So the book is really kind of a tell-all, a juicy detail for the things no one ever knew before. But as I've hit stages throughout this past year and a half with being bald and sick, I used opportunities to talk to people about early detection and share some stories. So I will add some more speaking engagements regarding cancer. I think there's a lot of ignorance out there, and some people need to be inspired to do better. And not only will I hopefully work to compel people to do get their annual exams and do their self-exams, But there's a lot of lessons to be learned from someone who's gone through this type of thing and has come out on top. You know, perspective was my best friend. You know, I never allowed myself a pity party. I stuck with the mantra, I'm not a kid with cancer, which would be way worse. I'm not a parent of a kid with cancer, which would probably be the worst. And last but not least, I was dealing with mostly curable breast cancer, not a far more lethal cancer. So I did hit depths of despair on some days, but I still couldn't feel bad for myself because I knew there'd be a light at the end of the tunnel. So whatever you're going through, maybe you got a sprained ankle, maybe you got fired from job, maybe you're involved with a crappy breakup. You know, perspective will go a long way, and having a solid game plan for success. And so I'm looking forward to doing a lot of visits with corporations and fundraising galas, and just kind of giving people the kick in the can and the poke in the chest like I do to help them do better for themselves.
Yeah, like this is a thing. Like I would say, sadly, you're one of the exception to the rules when it comes to with regards to like the big C and like checking and everything like that. Because when you said yes, I checked, found like the bean shaped lump, and it was like okay, and right, and doing like mammogram, it's clean, it's clear. Now, like as I say, I would say the exception to the rule, because look, I know there are countless people who are like, yeah, I want, like, as long as I don't know, it's not there, if you get what I mean. And it's like, and like, if anyone should, the whole world should know, a disease doesn't really care. It's just going to be like, yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to play, one way or the other. And your ignorance is basically, the longer you wait, the less chance of, survive. So
yeah, I consider cancer like Pac-Man. He's just going to keep eating all your good cells if you let it. It's just going to keep going. And a little interesting tidbit about my breast cancer is, again, 6.5 weeks after the clean mammogram, it was a sizey lump and 3 lymph nodes. This thing was aggressive. It was moving fast. Had I waited till the following December to get that next mammogram, my body would have been riddled with cancer. Pac-Man would have been all over the place, my liver, my lungs, my brain. I would have been on death's door if I waited for December. In fact, I probably would have known about it sooner, because as it ravaged my lungs, I would have developed a horrible cough that needed treatment. So yeah, you cannot put your head in the sand. Every second you let go by without addressing red flags puts you at risk for, you know, say even you don't die. Maybe you just live a life on a ventilator because your lungs are shot. I mean, your health matters. It's got to be your number one priority. And some people say, well, I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. I can't go do stuff for myself. Baloney. You're a single mom. You need to get your affairs in order when it comes to your health, because your kids need you to be alive.
Yeah, no, I agree. You mentioned you have website, you're doing the book, everything like this. Like, do you have a podcast or anything like that to sort of get your message out?
I do. I love you for asking. So again, I have Fitzness.com is my main resource. That's the best place to find me. That's FITZNESS. But then I'm at Fitzness on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And then I have a podcast called The Fitzness Show. It's all Fitzness. If you search Fitzness, you should find me.
It's catchy.
There's actually a British chick who's infringed upon my trademark. It's Fitzness CF, and I'm not convinced I have international authority to go after her, or I would. I wish her well, but yeah, so she's trademark infringing. But yeah, so Fitzness everywhere, and I like to talk, obviously, and I'm also highly responsive too. So if you're reaching out for some guidance for fitness or cancer, or you just want to talk about my cool new hair, I will respond to you if you follow.
What I'll simply say is, like, yes, like, take out your British rival, and I say this as a Brit, with overwhelming content. Like, yes, out content her to the nth degree, and I'm sure you will come out on top.
So show my British friends who the real Fitzness is.
Liking it. I'm liking it. Now. I have my my supreme cosmic powers. I'm quite modest about it myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Like I have the power to grant one wish. What would that one wish be?
For me?
Yes, for you.
One wish, I love life so much. I would want I would like to live forever healthy with my kids.
Forever healthy with your kids.
So not 400 years and we feel like we're 400 years old, but I just want to be healthy and happy with my kids.
I'm definitely going to work on that for you.
That for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Healthy, happy with your kids. That's a great thing. It's a good goal.
Yeah. Some people don't like life so much. I love life. I'm so grateful for it. It's a real gift, huh?
No, it is a gift. And like the whole thing is, I think if it's sometimes a gift which we often take for granted, and with regards to sort of like personal freedoms and liberties, with regards to what's gone on this year, I think some people have like, okay, yeah, that's going on. And I think, yeah, just the simple act of traveling, seeing new things, like going to new countries, experiencing new like phenomena, events, and all of that. I think, yeah, help people having that sort of healthy dose of life and appreciating each moment. Yeah, I think that's a rare thing. And I think people like yourself who have gone through, like, definitely gone through the gauntlet where life has basically went, hey, I can end you now. And I think like, so right. I think, yeah, your perspective is definitely going to be much more focused with regards to that. Because earlier today, I was speaking to a lady named Zena. She helps mothers with regards like her she has a mothers of ambition, mothers of abundance, excuse me. And she helps like mothers find their sort of true path. And one of the things she does is she's a funeral director. So she's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably got tremendous perspective, doesn't she?
Oh, yes. And like the whole thing is she's like one of the brightest, bubbliest people around. And look, like she don't shy away from it. And she's like, yes, it ends one day, sometime in it might not be today, tomorrow, hopefully many years in the future. But it ends. So be appreciative of your time. Enjoy.
So I'm going to listen to her podcast. I'm going to listen to your interview with her. It sounds captivating.
Hey, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. So with this, family, great, liking that. So what do you think you might change in the fitness industry over the next 12 to 18 months?
I'll continue to call out the snake oil salesman and convince people of the realities of fitness is move your body often, watch what you put in your mouth, and sleep. And so I do wish I had a larger platform for that message. You know, there's a few fitness professionals that have been blessed with very great positions on national television every week. Some of them have done okay with it. Some have failed miserably to deliver the truth, and they've sold out. Do you remember Jack Lalanne?
No. Like, you got to understand, there's some things we get over here.
Yeah.
Some things we don't. Because, like when I mentioned The Biggest Loser, like that's something which sort of crept over here for a short period of time, and now it's sort of disappeared. It disappeared over in the States for a good few years. It's come back.
Oh, has it? Okay. All right.
Well, it's come back into the American, sort of zeitgeist, as they say.
Do you have your own Biggest Loser with British coaches and British participants?
We did. And I think, I didn't really watch it because there was a time where I watched The Biggest Loser and I thought, oh, yes, it was the best thing since sliced bread. And this is then when you kind of start to see how can I say, the blowback from it all,
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, working out 8 hours a day. And I know, like, it's not possible with a regular 9 to 5. It's
Right.
not.
They
uh,
did a lot of shady things, and a lot of their stunts were created by producers who don't have any knowledge of how to get people to their point B physically in a safe way, safe and productive way. So yeah, that, is certainly a flawed TV show, entertaining for sure. Many of those contestants regained a lot of their weight or ended up with some emotional issues. I know a few, and they're not happy campers. So, there's a cost benefit ratio when you go on a sensational TV show that's about quick weight loss.
yeah.
They like I said, they did a lot of shady things. I don't want to get myself sued, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish they had done a better job. They certainly created an entertaining show, certainly not a model for the regular Joe or Jane to follow that formula for success. There was an older guy named Jack Lalanne. Jack would be probably 100 today. I got a chance to interview him about 15 years ago before he passed, but he was back in the 40s and 50s, and he was talking about cutting down on eating sugar and exercising your body and drinking lots of water instead of soda. He just had this message that was right on the money, and it was right on the money back then, and it would still ring true today. And for me to have an impact like Jack Lalanne, who did have everybody knew his name and they understood what he was all about. I don't have that big of a platform yet. I have a sizey platform that I'm very proud of, but again, I will not be satisfied until not only people around the world know my name because they know me. I don't need to be famous. I just want to have an impact on every single person. I want to be able to deliver the truth to all ears, to anyone who actually cares about their body and their health. I would like to give them that benefit.
Superb. Okay, you know what? Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, with this podcast and many more down the road, we'll be able to get your message out there, help you make that impact of positivity for fitness. I'm going to say, please repeat where people can find you. I know you said this earlier, but just in case, say it again so they know and they can find you wherever you are.
Yeah, so it's Fitzness. My name is Fitz, so it's fitness with a Z in the middle. Fitzness. It's fitzness.com. I wore my little shirt. You can also find me at Fitzness on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And yeah, I reach out and anything about also my book. Hold on, I brought them out. It's called My Noisy Cancer Comeback. I got a hardcover paper book. There's an ebook and an audiobook, which is me going blah, blah, blah for like 12 hours. But very excited about this. It's being sold worldwide. So if you came through fitzness.com, and I am accepting international orders, I will sign these books, and I have a little fun gift with purchase I'm sending to everybody. If not, your Amazon, your bookstore should be carrying it. And I think it's a fun ride. It's funny. It's breast cancer, so I'm supposed to be like, breast cancer, and it's raw and it's real, and I tell the truth. But it's also a bit of an adventure story and a bit of a comedy, because the reason I wrote this book is as the side effects started kicking in, it wasn't just I was sick and bald and tired. I had a rash all over my face. I was bald, but with one weird wiggling hair, and my nostril hair fell out. And you know what happens when you lose your nostril hair? Oh. Your nose runs like a spigot all day. I mean, it was just bonkers, all the things that happened. So I put that in there. And so the people that have read it have said, oh my God, it made me cry, but I also laughed out loud like a weirdo on the bus while reading it. People thought I was strange for laughing. So adventures in breast cancer and race announcing. And if you have someone you know and love who's going through it, I think this would certainly give them a lot of hope and hopefully give them some perspective, because I think perspective is very important to have. A little bit of guidance for those in a hard position.
Superb. Fitz, thank you very much for coming on today. You have been a superstar. Ah,
I love you. I want to come just hang out with you now. I'm gonna go to the border and say, let this Samaritan have a new friend.
It's like, yes, I'll vouch for you to come in. And yeah, love you to come on my podcast face to face sometime. But yes, thank you, Fitz. Thank you very much. I've got to say thank you to you, my friends, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, stay well, be awesome, be excellent, be fantastic. Be all the positive bees you can be, and then some. Have a great day, guys.
Love you.
Peace. And we are